Hyaluronic acid is one of the most bought skincare ingredient. I'm here to tell you that you may not require it as an additional ingredient in your skincare. The reason for that is that ultimately hyaluronic acid is a humectant. And what do humectants do? Humectants are able to lock moisture in our skin and give it a very plump and a very radiant and a fresh, dewy look. Keep that in mind, that any product that's going to give you freshness and going to make your skin look dewy and well hydrated will have humectants. Hyaluronic acid has become a great skincare ingredient and is touted by most to be a very important skincare ingredient. Let's understand what is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is naturally produced in our bodies. It's used for lubricating our joints and to also give hydration to our skin as along with other organs in our body. The hyaluronic acid that's naturally produced in our body has enough water around it to hydrate itself, which is very critical for the hyaluronic acid molecule. The hyaluronic acid molecule knows just one thing. It knows to absorb moisture for hydration. And this is where it's going to get very interesting as we proceed in the video. Hyaluronic acid in the skincare is produced from two origins. One, it could be produced by the concoction of bacteria, which is then used in skincare. Second is that it's extracted from the combs that roosters have. Picture. So if you're concerned about the vegan origin of your hyaluronic acid, you need to be very worried because India में तो sunscreen का भी कोई अता पता नहीं है कि ये right है कि नहीं है. So vegan origins of your product can be very suspect, and especially of hyaluronic acid, because to the best of my knowledge and the best of my research, hyaluronic acid is really not a vegan ingredient. It is not technically produced from plants. I have the whole article in the description box. Do have a look if vegan hyaluronic acid is of concern to you. The hyaluronic acid molecule is a very large molecule, and so therefore it is not what is available in our skincare. The variation that's available in our skincare is the sodium hyaluronate, because that molecule is very tiny and can penetrate our skin. The hyaluronic acid molecule is so large that it can only be injected into our skin, and so therefore it's used as a cosmetic procedure when you're looking at uplifting your face or uplifting your eye area. If you have a lot of darkness, you go to the aesthetic doctor and they're able to inject hyaluronic acid. That's the only way the hyaluronic acid molecule can actually enter your skin. So what you're getting in your skincare is sodium hyaluronate, which is a salt format. And when it's a salt format, the only percentage that is most effective in our skincare is when it is under 2%. So 1 to 2% is where it is most effective. Higher than 2%, hyaluronic acid can actually become drying for your skin. And the reason it can become drying is because, like we discussed earlier, that it draws moisture from the environment into our skin, or it will draw the moisture from the deeper layers of our skin or the cells into it itself. So when you apply hyaluronic acid, it is so important to lock it with a good moisturizer which has water in it, so that the hyaluronic acid molecule or the sodium hyaluronate molecule has enough water available for it externally and doesn't have to take it out from our skin. The reason why I feel you don't require extra hyaluronic acid as an active or as an ingredient in your skincare is because it's a humectant. And every type of skincare has to have a humectant in it, because the product has to give you the feel of radiance, has to give you the feel of plumpness, has to make your skin look fresh and dewy. Every product does it. Here is a list of products that I'm getting for you. A high-end moisturizer from Innisfree will have some kind of humectant. It might have glycerin, might have peptides, might have some form of algae. It might just have sodium hyaluronate too. Simple moisturizer. Nivea has glycerin. Even makeup products like a primer will have some kind of humectant, because it needs to even out the wrinkles so that the foundation can go in easily. Collagen serums are infamous to have a lot of hyaluronic acid in it, because they need to give you the plumpness and the radiance that is required or that we expect from collagen serums. Simple moisturizers like Pond's will also have humectants in it. Or even a moisturizer from Color Bar will have humectants in it. So if you are getting moisturizer from a whole set of ingredients, a whole set of products already in your skincare, why do you require hyaluronic acid as an additional skincare product? You really don't. For one, if you're not adding it additionally, you're saving on money, because hyaluronic acid is a separate ingredient and an active does cost money. Secondly, if you're not applying hyaluronic acid individually, then you're making sure the skin won't get drier or won't get more dehydrated. This is especially important when you're living in very dry areas like Rajasthan or the Delhi area, where it can get extremely dry in the winters or even in summers because of the AC on all the time. It gets very, very dry. And especially more important if you're living in hilly areas where the air is naturally very dry. In such kind of environments, if for some reason there's not enough water available for the hyaluronic acid, via a good moisturizer, it's going to suck in the water from your skin and actually have a reverse effect on your skin by making it even more drier. It's important to understand what is dry skin and dehydrated skin to understand whether the product is really delivering on hydration for your skin or actually making it drier. Now, if you have dry skin and you apply a good moisturizer, a good serum to it, your skin should feel completely fine post-application. During the day, it should not feel dry, stretchy, or pulled at all. But if after a few hours your skin goes back to feeling stretchy, then there are two things happening. One, your skin is very dehydrated and the skincare that you're using is not giving it enough hydration, or the hyaluronic acid or the sodium hyaluronate in your skincare is not properly balanced, or there's just too much of it which you haven't accounted for, and that is pulling out the moisture from your skin. Keep in mind that sodium hyaluronate or hyaluronic acids can also be there in your sunscreen. In such cases, before you apply your sunscreen, make sure that you apply a moisturizer and then go in with your sunscreen so that the molecule has enough moisture to pull out from the moisturizer itself. Clinically, in a good world, your sunscreen should not make you feel dry at all, if it's a properly balanced formula, but they obviously can't account for your skin type because most of the sunscreens are for all skin types. Also, sunscreens typically don't account for the environment that you're in, right? They only account for the heat or the radiation in the environment. So here is a tip. If you're going to be feeling very dry and stretchy after applying your entire skincare in about 2.5 to 3 hours time, that's a good indication that either your skin is very, very dehydrated and you require some moisture barrier repair, or there is just too much of hyaluronic acid in your skincare and this doesn't have enough water and therefore it's snatching it from your skin. And like you, I've been guilty of using hyaluronic acid independently as well. I've used it from the Minimalist, I've used it from the Recast, I used it from the B3 serum. But we all evolve into better, intelligent, smarter consumers. And this is that moment where I feel I'm one of them. I'm like, hey, I'm getting that humectant and that moisture from so many other products in my skincare. I do not need to spend the extra 700 rupees on another product. One, it saves me time. Secondly, it saves me money, which is important. And lastly, why would I use a product? Why would I use an ingredient that could actually at some point be counter to my skin as well, if, God forbid, my follow-on moisturizer is not well balanced? The other smarter question to really ask is also the fact that why is it that hyaluronic acid has been given so much of coverage and exposure and pushed down everybody and said it's the great humectant, it's beautiful, when there's already pre-existing great humectant like glycerin? Well, glycerin is so cheap that even if you were to make the most expensive serum out of glycerin, you won't be able to price it for more than 55 bucks, right? And glycerin has stood the test of time. My grandmom used it, my mom used it. It's one of the best known skin identical ingredients that you can have in your skincare, and it continues to be used in almost 80-90% of skincare. So you can't really position it as a serum, but hyaluronic acid can be. It is a matter of commerce, it's a matter of business. Everybody has to survive, and it's in the interest of all skincare companies to produce new products so that they're able to increase their product portfolio. And hey, I'm not shaming them. It's a matter of growing and increasing your business, just like we as an audience are growing too, smarter, better, wiser. And that's where I am. I thought I'd share it with you and get your understanding and your feedback on what do you feel about it. Should you save money and not pay for an extra hyaluronic acid product in your skincare? Keep in mind that hyaluronic acid is very well tolerated by all skin types, and it doesn't really cause a problem. It's one of those friends which gets along with everybody in the skincare group, कोई problem नहीं करता है वो. And that also kind of brings me to the point कि problem नहीं करता है तो इतना dramatically अच्छा क्या करता है that I'm paying extra for it. More in the comment section. And don't forget to share and subscribe. I'll catch you soon.